are assembling, ready to stride forward in front of 70,000 plus people for this prestige international friendly in the build-up to Euro 2016 between Germany and Italy. Germany ranked 4th in the world currently. Belgium, Argentina and Spain have snuck ahead of them since the World Cup triumph. Italy back in 14th, which rather makes a mockery of the current world rankings. They're only 8th in Europe right now, behind the likes of Austria, according to the FIFA listings. But they will be a factor. They're listed by the bookmakers as 6th favourites to win Euro 2016. And when the tournament comes around, there will not be anyone's easy beats. Now, in terms of recent meetings between these footballing powers, Germany have failed to win any of the last 7 games against the Italians. And that sequence includes Italian wins in a World Cup semi-final and at Euro 2012. So this is all about laying a ghost for the Germans as they stride out shoulder to shoulder. 2 football superpowers going head-to-head in Munich.
Liebe Fußballfreunde, bitte erheben Sie sich nun für die Nationalhymnen, gespielt vom Burgs Musikchor der Bundeswehr unter der Leitung von Oberstleutnant Karl Kriene. Wir beginnen mit unseren Gästen aus Italien.
And so the players shake hands ahead of the commencement of sporting hostilities Germany against Italy in name-a-friendly. But there are a good number of players on both these teams who are effectively playing for their places in the final squads of 23. Antonio Conte says he has 7 vacancies left in his, and a number of those are being contested in front of our eyes this evening. Italy in their familiar azzurri blue, the colour of the Royal House of Savoy. Italy facing a German side in their traditional colours too. Thomas Müller, skipper of Germany for the first time tonight.
Away team, the Queen, all the people. Queen. Thank you. Thanks.
Match referee Oliver Drachter of Austria. It's the biggest game of his career so far. He's an official who's yet to even graduate as far as a Champions League game. So to land a friendly of this magnitude, something of a surprise and a big opportunity for him. In terms of teams, well, 5 changes to the Germany side that lost to England. Things to bear in mind: Ter Stegen in goal because Neuer is ill. Müller skipper for the first time. Now, Munich's a city that staged a World Cup final 42 years ago. It was between West Germany and the Netherlands, and although it was the Germans who won, it proved to be the zenith of Holland's total football. A glorious style of play led by the quite brilliant Johan Cruyff, in whose memory we will shortly pause following his untimely death last week.
Die Effizienz und die Ästhetik unseres Spiels. Unser tiefes Mitgefühl gilt seiner Frau, seinen Kindern, der gesamten Familie. Als Ausdruck unseres großen Respektes vor einer Legende des Weltfußballs bitten wir Sie nun um einen Moment des stillen Gedenkens.
Silence turning to applause. The passing of a great man, marked in respectful manner. Now it's down to the heroes of 2014, the man whose goal won a World Cup, Mario Götze, supporting cast led by Thomas Müller, to show their footballing public at home whether they can emerge from a sequence of 3 defeats in their last 4 games. Antonio Rudiger playing at right back. Italy, who improved as the game against Spain went on last Thursday, they'll kick us off in their azzurri blue, defending a 7-game unbeaten run against Germany. A system that the Italians employ rarely changes these days. Antonio Conte did dabble with 4 at the back in a recent international. It went horribly wrong and he reverted to 3 central defenders at half-time. Rudiger. It's Müller. One back by Montolivo. Bonucci is the only one of the regular defensive trio playing. Giaccherini, who played it forward, he was actually about to be released from the squad 2 days ago, having injured his foot, but he's got the Lazarus-like recovery to play. Ter Stegen, Barcelona, who's deputising for Manuel Neuer, who's gone down with a stomach upset.
It is catching that between German goalkeepers, because Manuel Neuer will take so many chances with his feet in passing the ball out from the back, and Ter Stegen, for those who watch Barcelona, will do things very similar. So there may be an opportunity for the Italians to try and apply a little bit of pressure when Ter Stegen has the ball. Traditional back 3 for Italy. It was something that was really evident when Conte was manager of Juve, John. brought him some great success before he handed it over to Max Allegri.
It is his default system. Free kick is Italy's. Insigne on the floor. Rudiger at fault.
Now, had this game not been a friendly, I think that would have been a very early yellow card for that challenge.
Antonio Rudiger has got away with a word of admonishment and a rueful look from the referee. Bonucci amongst those forward. It's Benedeschi. Put away by Müller. Buffon winning his 156th cap at the age of 38.
It looks like Rudy's going to play off this right side, John, and Mesut Ozil is going to play a lot more closer to Toni Kroos than we would imagine, more of a deeper lying central role.
It's Götze. Kroos. Rudiger. Rudiger looking long for Müller. Germany started off against England with an old-fashioned big target man in Mario Gomez, who scored a goal, but it's back to the false nine. A role that both Götze and Müller can play, as they showed to telling effect in the World Cup. Jonas Hector. Hummels. Florenzi. Ozil. And Rudiger once more. Draxler. Müller. Zaza. Runs away from Giaccherini. Rare for Germany to lose 3 out of 4, but the German football public doesn't seem particularly perturbed at this stage. Taking the view that these are friendlies. Only one of those defeats came in a competitive game in Ireland.
There might have been a small matter of a World Cup they picked up just to dull the pain of any potential friendly defeat. They know where their bread is buttered, and it is the major championships.
An unrivaled tournament mentality when World Cups and European Championships come round. Ter Stegen, the German goalkeeper, very frustrated at Barcelona. He said this week that he can't go on only playing 20 times a season effectively. He plays all the games that are not in the domestic league. So yes, he gets decent Champions League exposure, but not enough football. Claudio Bravo preferred in La Liga. Montolivo. Here's Insigne. Bonucci to Darmian. Montalivo. Florenzi. And a corner. Lorenzo Insigne. Darmian. Bonucci is being linked with a move to Chelsea next season. It's Antonio Conte's job is confirmed at Stamford Bridge. Ozil, Müller ahead of him. Rudy in support. Ozil again.
Brilliant, lit up the Allianz Arena here in Munich. Darmian just gets round in the cover though, John.
Rudy. And it comes for Ozil, defeated by the bounce. Müller. Beyond Rudiger. Header away was by Florenzi, but not very far. Serbi, and then Insigne. A foul by Rudiger, who must be treading a fine line.
Yeah. It looks a tad cumbersome.
Casual dress on the touchline for Jogi Löw.
Yeah, come as you like. Come as you like, Jogi. Win a World Cup, you come as you like. What happened there in that German break, John? The two hugely experienced Italian holding midfielders, Montalivo and Thiago Motta, got caught just a little bit too far forward, and when Italy lost the ball or Germany won it back, they were able to spring Mesut Ozil into that pocket behind, and then the pace of the German guys going forward was just too much for the likes of Thiago Motta. That was a great break, and it was good cover by Darmian, who's not had a comfortable season at Manchester United.
Who has?
Yeah. Well, not the manager.
Maybe Chris Smalling. You could say he's had a decent campaign.
I think he's had a little bit of more troublesome time of late.
Müller.
You've got to love this guy, Thomas Müller. What a player. Right, left, through the middle, midfield, he can do it all.
Frightening thing is, Craigie, he may not even have reached his peak yet at 26. Insigne. Benedeschi to his right. Zaza the other way. Benedeschi. It's well read by Hummels. It needed to be too. Rudy of Hoffenheim. Ozil. Rudy is one of those contesting one of the fringe places in the German squad. Jonas Hector. Hummels.
Again, a player that is constantly linked with other clubs, Mats Hummels, but no signs so far of him leaving an excellent Dortmund side this season under new coach Tuchel, playing some great stuff.
Stories in the Spanish press earlier today linking Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Yep.
A €70 million move to Real Madrid. Müller. Through the legs of Benedeschi. This is good from Germany. Watchful goalkeeping by Buffon to deny Draxler.
Well, Draxler on the left-hand side. It was actually Hector, the left-back, who had tucked inside to get that little pick pass around the corner. I don't think you're beating Buffon from there unless he's making a mistake, but the actual football was excellent. We could sit here and analyse this German side and talk about formations, the back four isn't really going to change much. Toni Kroos is always going to sit in front, but the rest of them in front, John, are so flexible. The movement is so good in the interchange, and that's what makes it difficult for other teams to pick them up.
Giaccherini seen off by Rudy. There's been plenty of purpose from the world champions so far. Goetze. Kroos. Rüdiger. Müller. Kroos. Ramos. Slid in towards Draxler. Germany at the Euros in a group with Ukraine, Poland and Northern Ireland. Italy in a section that also contains Belgium, Sweden and Ireland.
Italy got to take more care on the ball. Montolivo there just hooked that around the corner. Gave Simon Zaza absolutely no chance, and this ball was just coming constantly back at the Italians at the moment.
Rudy took it beautifully on the run and then was clipped by Giaccherini. Cynically enough for the referee to go straight to his pocket.
Yeah, this is just a fantastic first touch from Rudy. And, well, he's taken one for the team there. Although there is cover, Rudy looks as if he's about to sling a ball across the 6-yard box. And it all came about by the wonderful first touch.
Keep your arms down, says referee Drafter to Giaccherini. Kroos. A disappointing outcome. Well, this is just the start of a terrific day of football here on ESPN2. At 7 Eastern, the United States men's national team taking on Guatemala in a 2018 FIFA World Cup qualifier. And then the US under-23 men's national side facing Colombia in the second leg of their Olympic qualifying playoff. Both games streaming live on the ESPN app.
I would imagine Jurgen Klinsmann did not get a particularly good night's sleep last night with the pressure his side face. Even though they're at home, they should win. But that result in Guatemala has put a real spanner in the works. And boy, does he need his players to perform tonight.
That was Klinsmann who was in charge of Germany when they painfully lost a World Cup semi-final to Italy back in 2006, just before he handed the reins to Jogi Löw. Most famous meeting of these sides, the 1982 World Cup final in Madrid. Italy won that 3-1. Rossi, Tardelli, Altobelli. Paul Breitner scored a consolation for the Germans. Enzo Berzo guiding Italy to World Cup triumph. And it bears repetition, and it's the reason that Jogi Löw was so keen to welcome the Italians in the build-up to Euro 2016, that in 8 meetings at major events across many a long year, Germany has never got the better of Italy. Thiago Motta fouling Rudiger. Neither of them coming out of it particularly well.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. There's no intent there from Thiago Motta. Let's hope both guys are okay. I must say, when I saw him running up, I thought there's nothing good going to come of this.
He's been Bundestrainer for nearly 10 years now, approaching a 5th major tournament. Rudiger back on his feet as they continue to patch up the veteran Thiago Motta. Began his international career by winning 3 caps for his native Brazil before switching allegiance to Italy. Garlanded club career too. Antonio Conte, who it seems more than likely will be prowling the touchline in West London next season. So maybe Chelsea will be playing 3 centre-backs.
Yeah. Have they got 3?
I think they will have by the start of next season. Here's Hummels.
I don't think they care if they're playing 3 centre-backs, 2 centre-backs or 4 centre-backs. I think after this season's debacle, they just want to get back to being competitive.
Rudiger. Ozil. Rudy. Kroos. Müller. Back from Götze.
It's got to be frustrating for Mario Götze playing the sort of striker, false 9 role, call it what you like. 470 minutes or thereabouts of football this year in the season 15-16 at Bayern Munich. It's just not ideal. He's struggled for them since moving from Dortmund. Yes, there's been obviously a goal in the World Cup final, a winning goal. Can never take that away. But talk about him linking up with potentially his former coach and Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. Would that be of interest to him? You know, there may be other suitors. But it has to be frustrating for one so talented to play so little.
It is, and this is being portrayed as almost a farewell to the Munich crowd. This, of course, is where he plays his club football, when he plays. There's also a suggestion he may go back to Dortmund, but the thought is that he wouldn't receive a wildly enthusiastic reception if that was the case. Insigne. Thiago Motta. Bernardeschi. Of the 24 sides heading to Euro 2016, 16 are in action on this day. Draxler, Ozil, now Rudy, Kroos, Motta, Bernardeschi. Bernardeschi, who's playing his football at the moment for Fiorentina, but is being strongly linked with a move to Paris Saint-Germain for the start of next season. Just his second cap tonight. Giaccherini, Zaza, Insigne. Hummels managed to turn his back and keep his arm out of the way. Kroos. Müller. Just two more warm-up internationals for both these nations after this. End of May, start of June. Slovakia and Hungary. Germany's opponents, Italy up against Scotland. A neutral venue of Malta. And Finland. Müller. First time hit. Is as clean as you like from Toni Kroos. 2-2 for him.
Well, it's this guy that conducts the orchestra. There is no doubt about that. This fella's not far behind Thomas Müller. Ball not clear, I think it was Bonucci, but whenever Toni Kroos comes onto the ball at the edge of the box, you very rarely see him put the laces through it and knock it miles over the bar. He guides it. He takes care when the ball's coming to him. He sees the picture. He knows what he wants to do, and that's a brilliant finish. Buffon, as good as he is, as big as he is, has absolutely no chance. And that, folks, is just how you guide it in with precision. You don't have to absolutely smash it. If you can get it in that corner, it will do the job.
Goals against England and now Italy in the space of 3 days for Toni Kroos. Taking his international tally to 11. Both from similar distance. Draxler. Running away from Götze.
It was one of the areas when he was at Bayern Munich, Kroos. I always felt, John, he was such a talented player and such a good striker of the ball that he should have scored more goals from midfield. I know he's a deep lying midfielder. He's not a sitting midfielder. He gets forward. And you just feel he's technically so good around the box that he should score more.
Özil. Rudiger.
Because the one against England was pretty much a snapshot with his left foot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bit of a stinger. So, looks like he's been, as a kid growing up, doing what he should do and working on
both feet.
Working on both feet.
It's Bonucci launching one. Well, he cost 30 million euros when he moved from Bayern.
Yeah, Bonucci just on the stretch. Just sort of dangles a leg at it, really. Knocks it into, well, the worst position he could, edge of the box. And good midfielders should be there to pick up the pieces.
More football coming up on ESPN. Sunday, April the 10th. ESPN, you're home for a football doubleheader. First at 2 Eastern, the US women's national team hosting Colombia from Chester, Pennsylvania. And then MLS returns with Houston versus Seattle from 4 Eastern. Here's Kroos. Quite as crisply hit. Ozil. Draxler. There's a sprightliness about Germany that wasn't there when they faced England the other day. Müller takes aim and just tests the alertness of Gianluigi Buffon.
You know, there's just a difficulty. 1 minute Muller's on the right-hand side, the next he's popping up in behind Montolivo and Thiago Motta. And the Germans are so good at utilising that little space. Draxler comes inside, Hector goes down the left. Flexibility.
Goal scorer Kroos. Mario Götze. Rudiger. In a contest involving Müller for the ball. Italy ultimately win. How would you, Craig, compare and contrast the Germany of today against the Germany of 3 days ago against England?
I think they've passed it a lot sharper, John. I think the ball, the increased tempo in their passing, 1 and 2 touch, where it was a little laboured the other day for periods against England, and England were able to get a good shape and then get a foothold in the game. The Germans haven't allowed Italy to get a foothold.
Here comes Müller again. Fired into a good area, but no one quite there. Advanced sufficiently to turn it in. Götze was the closest.
Yeah, if I'm being super critical of Kroos, I'm saying get yourself in the back post here. Now that's somebody who's not a natural player on that side, because if that's a right-sided midfielder, he's tracking that back post for an easy tap-in. But going back to your point briefly, John, against England, the Germans were a lot more predictable. They're not, and I've mentioned it at the top of the commentary, the sort of front four are so flexible so far today that the Italians are struggling to figure it out.
Certainly a fluidity about the world champions that wasn't evident at the weekend. Insigne. Giaccherini made it rather too straightforward for Rudiger.
Ter Stegen hasn't saved anything yet, has he?
No.
A couple of things with his feet, but hasn't really been, well, hasn't had a shot to save, I don't think.
Ozil. This will break for Draxler. Reined in comfortably enough by Buffon.
Yeah, no wonder the home crowd applaud it. It's sublime football. In such tight areas down by the technical area here, the way that Müller and Ozil scraped it out of this near side, and a little flick from Götze onto Draxler.
Insigne. Actually sat up reasonably nicely and kindly for him.
Should be some interesting managerial appointments if Conte does go to Chelsea, Pep to City, Mourinho to United potentially. Oh, well, they're interesting. Ancelotti's coming here to Germany to manage Bayern Munich.
Montolivo. And Florenzi happy to accept the corner. Of course, the immediate question for the Italian Federation is who takes over from Conte. Roberto Donadoni is near the top of the list.
Well, I think Claudio Ranieri, the Leicester manager, may have threw his hat in the ring. By performances, I think he's actually been quoted as saying, has he been quoted? I think I saw something. He said, I'm not interested in the job.
That usually means he is interested in the job.
Yeah.
Next chapter of Leicester's extraordinary season due to unfold. A home game against Southampton at the weekend. Tottenham, their nearest challengers, at Liverpool on Saturday.
Which Liverpool? The good Liverpool or the bad Liverpool?
You never quite know, do you? Rudiger. So far having the best of days, Antonio Rudiger, a clunk on the head and a number of fouls.
John, I really find it difficult to see how a back three has continued success when a team plays just one up front, because you end up having two spare centre halves, and that, you know, that really piles the pressure on the midfield boys, and that's what's happening. They're getting overrun in there. It ends up becoming a back five when the two wing backs push back in, and then good teams like Germany boss the game.
Are Germany your tournament favourites?
Well, on ESPN FC or show, I've actually gone for France, but I think I did that just to be rather awkward, because everybody else, well, few were picking Germany, so the sentimental view would see, I think France are going to give themselves a good chance.
Strong enough defensively. They've got Varane, but have they got another good central defender?
Time will tell.
History does tell us that they managed to win the World Cup without a proper striker in the days when there weren't things like false number 9s, or at least not by name. Home advantage is a significant thing.
I think from a European perspective, John, football's particularly strong at the moment. It's a lot of good teams. I think it is going to be a particularly strong tournament. I think for some of the sort of newish guys with the new format of 24 teams, some of them may find it difficult against the bigger boys in the early stages, because I always found international football, you know, ball possession was absolutely key. If you gave it away regular like Italy have done tonight, you end up spending the bulk of the game trying to win the damn thing back, and it ain't no fun.
You speak as a member of Scotland's 1998 World Cup squad, Euro 96 squad. Oh, Ter Stegen. It's his default setting, really.
See, I don't get that. I don't buy that, right? See, for me, that's not football brains. That's just idiotic. I get it. You want to play, right? But there's a time and a place, and it's not dragging it, 3 yards from your goal across the face of your 6-yard box with Simon Zaza, you know, sprinting down on you. But that's just foolish.
Here is Zaza. There looked to be a little push there. The referee concurs. I mentioned 16 of the 24 Euro 2016 teams in action across the continent of Europe this evening, including another blue-chip friendly at Wembley Stadium in London. England against the Netherlands is goalless 20 minutes in. Danny Drinkwater of Leicester City making his England debut in that game.
The Dutch are having a tough time just now in terms of the quality of player. they've got coming through, as was proven really in the qualifying campaign, where they were pretty much a total disaster.
Insigne lofting it towards Bernardeschi. It's just a 5th cap for Ter Stegen, so consistent as Neuer been. Possibility we may see Kevin Trapp of PSG emerging in the second half.
I feel sorry for Zaza up front, John. I'll be honest with you, he's had nothing but garbage delivered up to him. You know, it's either been round about his throat, it's been over his head. He's had one ball that he was able to lay down to Insigne. He gets an opportunity, okay, it's away from home in Germany, difficult, but he's got to expect these players to be able to deliver to him a little bit better up to his feet.
Referring to the festival of footballing fun coming all our way this summer, and of course ESPN is the place to see all 51 matches live from Euro 2016. Coverage begins with the opening game between France and Romania from Paris on June the 10th, all the way through to the final in the Stade de France on July the 10th. First time that 24 countries have contested the championship.
And still Scotland couldn't get there. I had to bring it up because I knew it was coming.
More worryingly.
You could see it in your face.
More worryingly, Craig, reduced to playing friendlies, as against the Czech Republic in Prague the other night, wearing pink. What's going on?
Yes. It's the fashion, John, it's the fashion. It's all about fashion. I don't think there'll be too many people buying it, mind you.
Craig Burley, the last Scot to score at a World Cup.
Go on.
And a fact of which you're more proud, I think, the last Scot to be sent off at a World Cup. Mesut Ozil. Jonas Hector. Moving into Florenzi. Attempts to turn defence into attack. Federico Bernardeschi. Emanuele Giaccherini. Still technically a Sunderland player. He is on loan at Bologna at the moment. Talk in the Italian papers that he could be a Conte candidate to go to Chelsea next season. The end of the season is open season for all that transfer speculation, particularly with managerial changes and plenty afoot. Zaza, Insigne, Montolivo. Coming up at half-time, Ian Darke and Taylor Twellman will join us from Columbus, Ohio, for a preview of tonight's crucial World Cup qualifier between the United States and Guatemala, and we'll break down the first half of action from the Allianz Arena. First half garlanded by a very well-taken goal by Toni Kroos after 24 minutes.
I wonder if Italian manager Conte will think about changing the shape of the team in the second half. I think maybe going from the back three to a back four and juggling in front may be something you'll think about.
Insigne. Montolivo. Actually defended by Hector. And now it's Mario Götze. Germany have exerted impressive control over this first half. Ozil. Sounds like got his head to it, but he's all alone.
I mean, it's brilliant because he's got Germany on the front foot, but he just can't help himself, can he, Ter Stegen?
Ozil. Müller. And the header applied by Mario Götze. Wonderfully set up by Thomas Müller.
It was reverse ball. And I suppose it all started from the goalkeeper taking that risk in the 6-yard box. It wasn't such a risk this time, but that started to move off. Then Ozil with a pass into Müller. The easy passes to Rudy, but he clips that little blind reverse ball in there. Now, if I'm Antonio Conte, and I'm the Italian coach, and Mario Götze is winning a header in that position, then I am going to be absolutely fuming at half-time, because there is no way he should win this. But he makes it his own. Darmian with a high foot. What can he challenge is that? And a super header. I mean, when Müller clipped that in, John, I didn't think there was any chance Götze was going to get there, but he made it his own.
Just his 6th international goal since the one that won the World Cup back in July 2014. 17th in total to mark his 50th cap for his country tonight. And Germany have an advantage that perhaps more fittingly reflects their dominance in this game. Kroos. Rudy. Many more encouraging signs for the world champions in a first half in which they've now established a 2-goal lead. Kroos with the opener. Götze putting his head in bravely between two flailing defenders to make it 2. Coming up next, we'll be in Columbus, Ohio, to look ahead to the United States men's national team's World Cup qualifier against Guatemala. That's in a couple of minutes.